Welcome to Time Turner Thursdays, a special feature of Hogwarts Radio that revisits some of our more popular episodes over the past 10 years. Episode 43 was released on April 8th, 2010, and covers a wide variety of topics such as the Big Fire on set of Deathly Hallows Part 2, Bloomsbury republishing the book series with all new artwork, a total review of the Wizarding World of Harry Potter theme park before it even opened to the public, and much more. Jeff shares a story of his lost cell phone on a ride at Universal Studios, and the staff closing down the ride for more than 3 hours to retrieve it. Finally, the panel talks about how everything has stopped for Harry Potter. We'll explain what that means. And although this episode was released 9 years ago, it remains one of our favorites. We hope you enjoy, and thank you for listening. This is Hogwarts Radio, episode number 43 for April 8th, 2010. The one with the half-pint Flitwick. Everyone, welcome to Hogwarts Radio, episode number 43. We kind of have a full house here in the studio tonight. We're joined by, this week, by Eric, Jeff, Becca's here, and Greyson and Jeremy are going to be joining us a little bit later. So, welcome back, everybody. Pleasure to have you.
Glad to be here. Definitely.
And I think Eric's still enjoying his tomato soup and his grilled cheese there.
Hey, I'm back. I still have some soup left, but I'll make it last. How you guys doing?
Good.
Wow. Okay, last week we had our April Fool's joke. April Fools! Ha ha ha! Did we fool anybody? No? Eric, I'm tempted to ask you, what's your sunglass size?
Oh, I don't know. Honestly, I had 2 pairs of sunglasses, and they actually were pretentious enough to have numbers on the side of them, but I've lost them. I can't find them anywhere. I still sent our sizes to Cameron, though. You know, even though it was a joke. I just sent him some numbers, and hopefully, we'll hear back.
Yeah, so last week was our April Fool's joke, and sadly, they're not making a movie about us. Not yet. Not yet. At least not yet. And Jeff's probably wondering, what's going on here?
Well, I was just going to ask, are there really sunglass sizes? Because I've never bought sunglasses that expensive then, apparently. So
they're actually, look, if you have, pick the pair of sunglasses you think is going to be the most valuable. And look on the left ear, or left wing of it. And closest to the lens, there should be a series of 3 numbers. Evidently, all sunglasses have a size. Believe that or not.
Oh, my regular glasses do, but I have a prescription, magnetic clip-on sunglass thing. Doesn't look as nerdy as it sounds, but it's, yeah. So I don't know if it has a size or not, but yeah.
Yeah, apparently they do. I just, in order to prep for the April Fool's joke, I was like, well, I kind of knew what it was. Terrance kind of told me what it was, so I was like, I'm just going to Google, do sunglasses have sizes? And I Googled that, and it said, yes, they do. And I was on eBay, and, I guess it's pretty big. It's a pretty big deal, because you want to get expensive sunglasses. When you pay $500 for sunglasses, you want to make sure they fit.
Well, I don't want to pay $500 for a sunglass. I'd rather spend that money elsewhere.
On shoes?
No, not on shoes. Not on shoes.
On something else.
On something else. But, we got a jam-packed show here today, and it's going to take us a few minutes to get through it. Well, hopefully more than a few minutes, but we're going to get right into this week's show. I'm Terrance Pinkston.
I'm Jeff Guillaume.
And I'm Eric Scull.
Never mind, that didn't work this week. right, we got a lot of news to get to this week. So the first topic we're going to be talking about is fire. Fire.
Ah!
A large fire broke out during the filming of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows at Leavesden Studios a couple of weeks ago. And planned fire effects spread quickly to a nearby set and a castle facade. Is that how you say
Facade?
it? Facade. There you go. Okay. Made of tinder, steel, and plastic, according to one of the firefighters at the scene. Good thing is no injuries were reported. According to the watch commander there, Tony Smith, he goes, I think they were filming some stunts for the last scene. There's a big battle scene involving a lot of pyrotechnics and a lot of explosions. And they from what I understand, they had it under control pretty quick. He said they did a really good job with doing that, but there was no cast, and about 100 crew involved with this small blaze. Now, was it really something to report? I mean, was it as large as they're saying, or?
Jeff, weren't you at Leavesden that day?
I was there. Let's see. It happened Friday. I think they said Friday night that weekend. And I was there on the following Monday. And I saw no large scale damage or anything. In fact, when we talked to the people there, they assured us that it was contained mainly. I didn't know this, but there's an on-set fire department. Like they have their own fire brigade on the set.
That makes sense.
The HPFD.
Yeah.
You don't want to travel through London traffic to get to these expensive sets that are burning.
No, but it was apparently when the local fire department got there, it was already well under control. People just stood around. The spokesperson at the studio who I talked to and asked about it said it was way overblown. It's not as terrible as it sounded. In fact, she said, on a positive note, the set was going to need to be rebuilt anyway because they needed it. They needed the destruction for a scene. They needed to film that. And I asked, it seems like if it got way out of control, it'd be even a better scene than what they were planning. And she said, "Oh yeah, we caught all of it on film, but they're going to rebuild it anyway because." And this was a good reason, actually. Something to think about is the actors are available, when they're available. So they built the set, they burned it to the ground, and now they have to build it again so that when certain actors are available, and she wouldn't say who, but when they are available, they have to film on that set again before it was destroyed. So it was basically way exaggerated, but it was a slow day. In fact, she said that the local news media there was like, they were like looking for blood. They were like, "Was anyone hurt? Were any of the actors on set? What happened?" And she had to tell them, "No, nobody was hurt. None of the actors were even there." And they,
they were like, "Oh,
yeah, Harry Potter dies in fire,
in Hogwarts fire."
Yeah.
Did you see any of the damage whenever you went, or did they pretty much have it all cleaned up, and were they already starting the rebuilding process?
It was, as far as, obviously it was an outdoor set as far as I know. I think it was a backlot set is what they call it. But, it just occurred to me that we didn't see any of the backlot this time. Huh, that's odd. But I know that it was outside, the fire. It wasn't inside the main studio, it wasn't anywhere near the Great Hall or the common rooms or any of the new sets they're building. So, it was meant to be blown up. And, I do know that they used so much space on this movie, at Leavesden Studios that they had to, film some at, what's the other one called? Not Shepperton.
No,
not Shepperton. The other one.
Pinewood.
Pinewood, yes. Yep. So that's a good sign to me. That the fact that they have to film so much on so many sets that they had to use a different studio, I think it's going to be huge. So
it's cool.
I'm just glad nobody got hurt throughout all this. I mean, the media kind of did blow it out of proportion, saying it was a large fire and things like that. But all in all, I'm just glad nobody was really injured in this here. So, we got Greyson joining us now. So, welcome to the show, Greyson.
Hello there.
Next news story. Bloomsbury is republishing the Potter series with an all-new look. Now, they did reveal Bloomsbury, of course, the UK publishers of the Harry Potter series. They are republishing the entire series with all new artwork and design. I don't know. I'm kind of getting mixed feelings through this. If you haven't seen it, go to hpna.com. We got them actually on. I was going to say we biggie-sized them. We super-sized them. And I don't know. I'm kind of getting mixed feelings about these covers here. I think it's very much too soon to be republishing the series with new artwork, seeing as how the last book just came out 3 years ago. But what did you guys think after looking at all the new covers?
I do like the new box that it's in. It's beautiful.
I haven't seen the box.
Where's
the
really...
picture of the box? I've seen the covers, but I haven't seen the box.
I've actually just seen it for the first time right now.
I'm going to HBNA right now.
The way you said that, Eric, was like that was the one thing you've always wanted in your life, and that would complete you.
A decent box, honestly. Have you guys seen the US versions that come in like that treasure chest, but it's notoriously crappy? Awesome. It looks awesome, but it's notoriously fragile.
Oh.
Like it doesn't really hold the weight of the books. So I hope that this box holds the weight of the books.
This one looks all cardboard, so probably.
I think the covers themselves are kind of missing that magical element. It's the Harry Potter font itself is non-existent. I don't know. It kind of looks like a messy cursive with sparkles, with a line zigzag underneath it. For the top
it looks like the way he might sign his name as an adult.
Yeah.
Like on checks and stuff, royalty checks.
The cover of the Philosopher's Stone features the wizard's chest scene from whenever they went underneath the third floor corridor. Features the picture of a queen holding a sword, and my guess Ron is the knight battling on the horse or something like that. But and they're all on the chessboard there. The second cover, the Chamber Secrets, features the basilisk and fox. These kind of and the Sorting Hat. But it looks scary. It really does. I'm like, oh my god, it's
like a dragon snake.
Which
I guess is what never mind. Anyways,
and is Fox on fire? It looks like he is.
Wouldn't be surprised. Wait, I don't know.
He's on fire in mid-flight. Can you imagine that he had a burning day mid-flight? That would really suck.
His ashes all over the place.
Yeah, his ashes would be scattered in the wind. There goes Fox. Oh well.
Yeah. You just mentioned the first two covers, and it seems like okay, yeah, we know about the chess, we know about the basilisk, but then I just got to the Prisoner of Azkaban one, and I actually really like that one because it's got Harry's Patronus, it's got Death Eaters or Dementors. I'm sorry,
yeah,
and it looks cool. I like that one.
That one's not too bad. They
just keep getting grander and grander, like. But by the time you get to book 6, there's like the whole astronomy tower and like the entire castle, or what is 6? The castle, the lake. Sorry,
the underground lake,
the cave entrance.
Yeah,
and there's a whole cliff face, and it's actually like straight out of the movie. But what you guys have to remember too is, although these are new covers, I mean, just the Harry Potter signature look. Is a replacement to like Times New Roman. Like honestly, the UK Harry Potter books do not have a standard or a special Harry Potter logo. They don't.
That's right. That's right.
US books will have the lightning bolt, that we're so familiar with, but the UK books, there are children's editions and adult editions. Both of them just have a standard print. So maybe this is the UK's attempt at, being fancy.
Well, do you think, this being said, Bloomsbury doing this revamp of the series, do you think one's coming from Scholastic anytime soon?
That's a good question. Yeah, who knows if this is really just another way to sell books, which it could be, but if they have loftier goals as far as branding, then this is one attempt, I suppose. But I don't know. I haven't looked at Scholastic's or Bloomsbury's revenue sheets in a while, but I know that they took a big beating once Harry Potter was over, so it could be. Yeah, they're just trying to recoup some losses.
Well, See, this is what I don't understand. What's the point? I understand that this was a big moneymaker for Bloomsbury, for Scholastic, and once the final book came back, once the final book came out in 2007, everything kind of steadily declined. But I honestly, I could see them. I could see this being done for a series such as the Chronicles of Narnia or the Lord of the Rings. But for Harry Potter,
it's already been done.
Well, of course, but for Harry Potter, it's just too soon, I would think.
Well, it's because we're looking at it through the lens of we were there from the beginning. We bought all of the things. We have them all. But we have to remember and hope, but I don't think it's a matter of hope. I think it's a matter of fact that these books are going to be around for generations, and of course they're going to be reissuing them and republishing them. And maybe this is just, this is the next generation's edition that they're going to get, and then there'll be another one after that.
Every time a bell rings, a Harry Potter fan is born.
Oh, we can hope,
somewhere in the world. So these guys, won't have had that. And I think, too, just rehashing the UK's books, honestly, these are my favorite covers of probably any Harry Potter set. To be perfectly honest, I think they're really that good. With the exception of the deluxe edition of some of the US's, I think that these covers look spectacular, and good for the UK, because their previous covers, even the adult editions, I think leave something to be desired.
Now, that's funny that you mentioned the adult editions, and obviously there's children's editions. Is this going to be kind of the new, just one?
I'm sure this would be more, like classic literature inductee J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series, because this looks like, these covers look like the sets you'll buy of, Narnia and things like that. The only difference is that these aren't like pictures of the movie and they say now a major motion picture. I just hope they never do those books.
Yeah,
for the Harry Potter.
That's true.
It could be like, it has already been a major motion picture,
Yeah.
Like that's what I would complain about, is if they did those like they do with Twilight.
So
I think did they ever do that with the books when the movies were coming out?
No.
Well, what the difference is, though, that I guess you just mentioned Twilight and they did it for that, but the fact that they didn't do it for Harry Potter may have more to do with J.K. Rowling's prestige than
that's true.
Or her influence, I should say.
Shows some character.
Yeah.
Now the new books have been set for a November 1st release date in the UK, so I guess we'll be looking forward. It's something. I guess we can look at it from the standpoint, it's something new to something to retouch something old. It's kind of like, kind of like a classic, making it a classic or something like
Retro.
You were saying, Eric. Yeah.
And let's look at it this way, guys. I still have my original US versions, and they're falling apart. Eventually, every Harry Potter fan who owns all the books is going to need to buy new books if they keep reading them.
Right.
That's a good point.
To have a new selection of covers to choose from, it's going to be great.
Moving on to the next news story here. J.K. Rowling reads Sorcerer's Stone at the White House, and she answers a couple of questions. Did you guys get a chance to catch any of the video of that? I know that it was on...
I did not yet.
Yeah, it was on I think it's whitehouse.gov. Their major... their site, I guess, their video feed. But it was streaming live there, and I got the opportunity to watch it intermittently, I guess, because my my internet kept going out. But it was like watching her. I kind of felt like those kids sitting down right there watching her. I had my legs crossed and I was sitting there, in front of the computer with my my hands on my face and just staring in awe that that she was reading this book.
That was
And
a lovely image.
well, thank you very much.
So cute.
But it was part of the Easter festivities of the White House, and Jo was invited to read from Harry Potter. She elected to read Sorcerer's Stone, and she did answer the questions from the children during the celebrations. Now, one of the questions that I thought that was really cute, because she shot her hand up really fast, was one of the little girls there was, "Can I get your autograph?" And she goes, yes, you can get my autograph, but not right now. Not right now. It was cute. But more serious questions were asked, and she confirms that what we know right now, that she's been working on a new project, although she didn't go into details about what it is yet. And she said that she plans to return to Harry Potter, saying that she will be ready to return within the next 10 years. This kind of worries me, because wasn't that the same thing she told us in 2007?
Give or take a few years.
Yeah. I mean, she needs a break. Come on.
She just doesn't want to be pressured.
Right. And that's understandable. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. And ready to return doesn't mean ready to release. Right. It means she'll be ready to step back into it. I mean, we all know the story of how we spent 10 years reading it and devouring it, but she spent close to 18 or 20 years devising it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, she's been with it a long time.
Exactly. And since Book 7, we've gotten things like Tales of the Beetle the Bard and that other excerpt, The Marauders for Charity.
Right.
So she's stepped back from Harry Potter in a way, but at the same time, it's always with her. And she's done these very small, other offings, which is just really cool. I mean, when she returns to Harry Potter, which, her saying that she's going to return to Harry Potter sounds like really exciting to me. Like there's going to be, a set of, I don't know, a book or two, that's what it sounds like.
Well,
by her saying that,
yeah,
like that's, I mean, knowing how thorough and intelligent and intricate she's been, think of what she'll be like in 10 years, when she returns to it with renewed enthusiasm, with all of that,
Yes.
Well, of course,
after a new project that's not Potter too.
Yeah. And
yes.
and we're still, I mean, of course, we're still expecting the encyclopedia to come out sometime within the next, couple of years or so. Even though she hasn't set a release date, I mean, it's something that we can pretty much expect coming within the next 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you're right, Eric, that she does have. She's given us, plenty already since Book 7, and we just have to sit back and be patient. Whenever she's ready to return, she'll return, and of course, the fans will be there for her, waiting for that.
Yeah. I think she's earned it. I mean, she's also, some people forget sometimes that she's raising some kids, and
yeah, exactly. So,
doing what she wants to do, which is all right, because she didn't get to do what she wanted to do for a long time. So
very true.
Our final news story this week, Chris Rankin confirms that he's going to be finished filming Deathly Hallows in May. And he confirmed this while attending the Young People's Film Festival in Leeds. And he was asked about Deathly Hallows, and he said, I finished filming in mid-May, so there's not that long to go. And he says it'll be strange and very sad to say goodbye. It seems like only yesterday that we had him on the show at Alcatraz, and he was just saying how excited he was to start in October of 2009, and now it's almost May. It seems like time has flown by so fast.
That's cool. He's a nice guy. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
Yeah, I got to talk to him on the set when I was there a couple weeks ago, and he was scheduled to film that week, but it was a Monday that I was there, and by the time we had gotten there, he was already dismissed for the day. But it was funny seeing him. He had just gotten a haircut and didn't have the huge, crazy. What's that character on The Simpsons?
No.
I
was like, I thought you were reaching in and trying to figure that out. It's gonna help you out.
No, the crazy Bob. What's the crazy clown Bob?
Sideshow Bob.
Yes, thank you. So he sometimes has that hair, but he didn't this time. And he had just gotten a cut, but also they dye his hair redder than it normally is, and they hadn't done that yet. So.
Oh wow! I mean, because it seemed like he was pretty ginger whenever we saw him in July. I can't imagine it going more red. Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty dark when I saw him that day, and I had to ask. I said, they must dye it more orange because it seems a lot brighter. And he said, yeah, every day that they film, and it rinses right out. He says.
Yeah, it was pretty orange at Escatraz. That's weird.
Yeah,
I remember.
Well, the thing is too, like they're not really brothers. The Weasley. I mean, I'm not shocking anybody by saying that, but they want to get at the same shade and the same tint, of orange.
Of course.
Like the Phelps twins are brunettes, I thought.
Yeah, they have dark brown hair.
But they're not really brothers, so,
Well,
wait a minute.
Yeah. It just happened like that,
There's actually just one, like Lindsay Lohan and Parent Trap.
Oh, yeah.
So that does it for this week's news. Let's move on to the announcements here. Just real quick, a reminder: Infinitus 2010 is just around the corner. The event, hosted by HPEF, is going to be in Orlando, Florida, from July 15th through the 18th, 2010, at 3 hotels near the Wizarding World of Harry Potter theme park. Okay. Also, exclusive to Infinitus attendees, the theme park will close for a few hours on one day and will only let in folks from Infinitus. I can't even begin to imagine what this is going to be like. I mean, you have the biggest Harry Potter fans in the world at this conference, and we have the opportunity to actually jump into this world, go to Hogwarts, and go to Honeydukes, go to Hogsmeade, see the Hogwarts Express. It's going to be mind-blowing.
You said it. That's exactly what it's going to be like.
There are no words. Really,
I feel bad for the park staffers when there's just the elite Harry Potter fan in the park,
Mm-hmm. I hope they have extra first aid responders on hand, because people are going to be fainting left and right, because it's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
And fans are going to go crazy.
If you've never been to a Harry Potter convention and you have the ability to go, this is the convention you need to go to. This is going to be a con to remember. You said it, Jeff. I'll probably be one of the ones fainting from just like overwhelming. Oh my godness!
And I'll just laugh and leave you there.
Right.
Get some butterbeer before you do. Try and get some butterbeer, and then you can faint.
Right.
And your
there you go.
Whenever you sign up at the HPEF.org, I think it's Infinitus 2010 actually .org website. Whenever you sign up, make sure you put HPANA in the Who Sent You field when you sign up, so they know who sent you. And get your tickets now, because from what I understand, they're going up in price as time goes on.
They are. I think they went up April 1st, in fact. So I know if there are any registrations left, you can buy them at the door, but of course it's for the most expensive price. So better to get it early.
Exactly. So next announcement, our donation link on hogwartsradio.com is up. And this is just general donations for the show. I just want to touch on it really quick. Pretty much if let's say just if all of our listeners just donated $1, we'd actually have enough to go to Infinitus 5 times over. But
probably more.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And Greyson has a bet. If enough money is raised, he actually has something that he's going to do. And did you want to tell everybody out there about that? Or
yeah, I'll tell them. I am going to. Okay, I'm going to go all out here. And I'm going to put on dress, makeup, wig, fake breasts, and I will sing "Believe" by Cher as Cher. So
surely the breasts are necessary. I mean,
they are very necessary, actually.
No, I mean, you're going as Cher. I mean,
okay, Eric, listen. I mean, she's not the most well endowed lady, but I mean, she's got to have something. You know what I mean? Come on.
You might have to. I don't know if you need to believe this, but you got to have assless chaps if you're going to be here.
No, I'm going to be classy Cher, like with the dresses and the Like maybe like I don't know, some kind of crazy hairdo, but still, give us more.
There are too many Cher's daughter jokes to be made here, actually. But
yeah, the video will be posted on HogwartsRadio.com and YouTube. So, but it also, yeah,
it depends on you.
Exactly. But in all seriousness, if you donate, because we do plan on going to Infinitus, I mean, either way, if you do donate, we actually might have the opportunity to do a mini tour, on the way to the conference. So that would be something exciting as well. So
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Our last announcement this week is vote for us on Podcast Alley. Woohoo!
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Really.
You got to keep doing it, right?
Exactly. You got to vote for us on Podcast Alley once a month, each month. It's not because we want to get high up on the list. Of course, yeah, we want to get high up on the list, but rather people look at the show if it's really high up on the list, and they get to see what kind of a show it is. So it attracts new listeners. And just as a side note, to the new listeners, we did get a bunch of new listeners from our Helping Haiti Heal event that we helped the Harry Potter Alliance out with a couple of weeks ago. Actually, a couple of months ago. And at one time we had about, I think 700, 800, 900 people listening to us live. So that was pretty exciting. So
yeah, that was something.
Yeah, welcome to all the new listeners from that event and from, anywhere. I think this is a good spot for us to go ahead and pause, and we're going to take a break, stretch our legs, stretch our vocal cords, and
our fake breasts.
Our fake,
yeah,
yes.
These are all real, baby.
We've actually, I want to go ahead and at this time explain this Wizard Rock break, because during this break we're gonna be playing a specific song. This song is by Laurel, and she created this mix. Well, this version. If you guys know the song "TikTok" by Kesha, whatever her name is. Keisha. Yeah, there you go.
I think I don't know either. I just assume
the Y is confusing.
No, but
wait, doesn't she have a $sign in her name or something?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying Keisha.
Yeah,
you run the risk of people not being able to pronounce your name
when you put
at symbols and dollar
signs, symbols.
Yeah, exactly.
$1.
But anyway, this song is pretty cool. I want to give you guys a listen to it. It's mixed Harry Potter style. And I think you guys are going to have an awesome time listening to it. So we're going to sit here and listen to it as well. We'll be back with a discussion about the theme park with the two people that have been at the theme park in just a bit. So,
the only two.
The only two, right?
Not quite.
Wake up in the morning feeling like Fred Weasley. Grab my wand, I'm out the door, I'm gonna take it easy. Before I leave, grab my tie and my scarf and my hat. Black and gold, you know house pride is where it's at. I'm talking birdies every flavor, beans, I'll buy rope instead of jeans, avoiding everything that's green. Wands out, being all sorts of tricky. If things get a little sticky, I'll just be extra witchy. Wands up, wave around, dance until we hit the ground. Tonight, wizard school, don't you wish you were the school? Hogwarts, flying sports, and the magic don't stop. No, wands up, wave around, dance until we hit the ground. Tonight, wizard school, don't you wish you were the school? Hogwarts, flying sports, and the magic don't stop. I don't have any sickles, I've got plenty of beer. I'm a puff through and through, so I've got plenty of cheer. I see wizards everywhere, I think they're trying to catch us. But I'm not gonna be his witch unless he looks like Mundungus. Wearing house colored Converse, I'm talking about the latest verse. Screaming our favorite verse. Oh yeah, this might be a little shock. I'm listening to Wizard Rock. Listen to Wizard Rock. Wizard Rock. Wands up, whip around, dance until we hit the ground. Tonight, wizard school, don't you wish you were the school? Hogwarts, flying sports, and I will bring me a Hogwarts letter of my own. Instead I read and save the world and go to cons and rock shows. I've always wished an owl will bring me a Hogwarts letter of my own. With my wand up, put your wands up, put your wands up. Yeah, the magic don't start till I walk in. Wands up, wave around, dancing till we hit the ground. Tonight, wizard school, don't you wish you were full? Hogwarts, flying sports, and the magic don't stop. No, whoa, whoa, oh, whoa, whoa, oh. Wands up, wave around, dancing till we hit the ground. Tonight, wizard school, don't you wish you were the school? Hogwarts, flying sports, and the magic don't stop. No, whoa, whoa, oh.
All right, that was completely awesome.
That was amazing.
That was off the hook. I don't even know. There's no words to describe it.
Yo,
really.
man, that was off the hook.
It was off the captain hook.
Yeah.
All right, getting to this week's main discussion, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter theme park opening June 18th. Oh, yes. Wow. Late spring opening, but I mean, it's opening nonetheless. While it's not a date that many expected, they kept, Universal Orlando kept their promise to reveal, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter this spring, technically, by giving it a grand opening date of June 18th. 3 days shy of just the official start of summer in the Northern Hemisphere here. HPA and other sites on Wednesday got a sneak peek of the attraction's highly anticipated Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey ride with a guided tour. And Jeff, you were present for that. Eric, you were present as well.
Yes.
And how was it? How?
Let me tell you. I don't know. Eric probably feels the same, but it was very impressive and very exciting to be one of the first fans really to be in there. I think is what we were doing.
The castle is just unbelievable. Like standing outside the castle, looking up at it on the hill.
Yeah. There's no denying, by the way, Eric can attest to this, but you can see, at least from our side of the hotel, you can see the castle from the hotel. It's just right there on the skyline. It's beautiful. It's big. I mean, it's there. And once you get inside, the castle is actually at the very back once you go in. So before you even get to that, it's always just omnipresent there in the background. Even, you're going through Hogsmeade Village and all the stores in there. And it's just, that is the attraction basically. And, I don't know, Eric, you can maybe speak to what we saw, in the castle, because it starts as soon as you get up to the castle gates, essentially.
Yeah, essentially with the winged boars at the gates, and you walk up, and honestly, I can't really describe it. It's awesome. But I actually walked around the Islands of Adventure Park a little bit, and I took some pictures because the scaffolding has been removed from the castle. So, like Jeff said, you can see it pretty much from all angles, as well as you're ever going to be able to from outside the actual Wizarding World Park. So I took a few pictures. When you first walk into Islands of Adventure, you can see it across the lake with Jurassic Park next to it, and then the Hogwarts Castle. So it's really cool. It's an omnipresence, and even driving into the hotel, which is on Universal property. All three hotels are on Universal property where the Infinitus is being held. Just driving in, you can see it. So it's going to be, it's their crowning jewel. And I was just thinking the other day, how Disney World has the Enchanted Castle, the Magic Kingdom Castle. And now Universal has their own castle.
Now that's funny.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah, now that's funny that you mentioned that, Eric, because I was going to ask about the scale of things. I mean, obviously from the photos that we see and from the promotional posters, we can see that it's a fairly good size. It did take up the I guess it was replaced. It was replacing the Lost Continent, which whenever I went about 10 years ago, which was a pretty good size in itself. But I'm curious: is Hogwarts Castle? Would you say Hogwarts Castle is as big or bigger or smaller than the Magical Kingdom?
How far would you say you went in? Like
it's deceptively big. That's how I would say it. It's an illusion of this grand thing, but it works. I mean, that's the great part about it. You know, like we said, and I'm sure as they planned it, you can see it from everywhere around the park. But then once you're up next to it too,
it looks even bigger.
Of course, it looks even bigger. But of course, it's not as big as the real quote unquote Hogwarts. But it certainly feels like it. And as soon as you walk through those gates, you're led into the queuing system, which is nicely packaged as being called part of the hour-long immersive journey, which is a little sneaky, but it kind of works because they claim to have reimagined the queuing system for a theme park. And we'll see what happens, but there are quite a number of queuing areas, all with their distinct theme. Like, what's the first one, Eric? I think it's the
dungeons.
Is that first, or is it?
Yeah, because you're walking in through the stone. Right. Yeah, you get the dungeons, and there's the Mirror of Erised and the one-eyed witch statue, and then you go, I think, right up through the greenhouse, don't you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was first, was the outside area, but I think you're right. Yeah, you go into the castle, the dungeons, and
the thing is, you're walking under the bridge too. Is that famous bridge from the films? Is pretty much, when you're looking up at it. It's a big castle. Don't get us wrong. It looks even bigger, especially when you're standing right next to it. And they've aged it so well, like the rock, in the stone. It looks amazing.
Now this is,
and it's real too. You can touch, you touch it, and it's
you can touch it. It's not styrofoam. It feels.
Yeah. Now you guys are talking about the Forbidden Journey ride, correct?
Yes. Sorry, we didn't name it, but yeah, that is the end all be all of the attraction. Like I said at the beginning, it's literally at the end of the park, or at the end of the whole Harry Potter area. For that reason, I think, because once you go through, you literally have to walk through Hogsmeade Village to get to it. And I everyone's going to want to go there, but that's not to say that that's the only thing they're going to want to see, because there is a ton of stuff to see there. And if I may be, if I may be vulgar in a commercial sense, they're going to make a ton of money on this place. I mean, there's going to be so many opportunities to buy things, but it's not in a grotesque way. It's in a way that fans, at least initially, the first time you go, or even the second or third time, you're going to want to buy these things that they have, because you can only get them there. I feel like a shill for this place, but I'm really not. I honestly feel this way, that you're going to want to buy, the candy that you can only get there. You're going to want to buy the magic wand that chooses you, all these things. It's never ending.
Now,
it's true. It's very true, and it's just because so much care has gone into it.
Yeah.
Now, talk to us a little bit about the shops that we're going to see there. I understand that there's Honeydukes, there's Zonkos, there's the Three Broomsticks. I mean, did you guys get to see just the outside of these places, or did they take you on a tour through them? And
we didn't go inside any of the shops.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when we were going through. We know now, in hindsight, that they were sort of prepping for Ellen DeGeneres' TV show to be there in literally a few days after we had left.
That chick did everything.
No, and that's fine, whatever.
Right.
Well, we can certainly talk about the food in the Three Broomsticks.
Yeah, we can definitely talk about the food. I just noticed the other shops. I mean, just from what I've seen in the video and the stuff, that there are. I think there's Scriven Chefs, and there are plenty of shops whose names are inspired and approved that were not specific, either not specifically in the book or in a corner crevice of the book, that these people who are making the park ripped out, and wham, it's in front of you with a really cool new storefront.
Yep. Yeah, everything. It seemed every time we asked, did Joe create this, or did Joe approve of it, or did she, was it run by her?
Yes,
the answer was always yes. Yeah. And so she's had a very high level of involvement, it sounds like, especially with the food. I heard that she did not want fried theme park junk food. She did not want that. And I think it goes back to when remember when Coca-Cola wanted to do a big sponsorship, and she said at one point that, you'll never see a Harry Potter actor drinking a bottle of Coke in the movie or something like that.
Wow.
It was the same thing. It's her prestige allows her to set these rules that the companies that are involved really don't have to follow, because they own the rights. They could do whatever they want.
Right.
But she is such a motherly figure over this whole thing that her word is law almost. I mean, if she says she doesn't like something, it's gone.
She inspires them to be better at more humane businessmen.
Right.
Yeah. And the same thing went into the park, is everything we heard time and again. And it goes back to the movies too. The astounding thing, one of the astounding things to me, is that this is Universal. This is a competing entertainment company to Warner Brothers, essentially.
That's the weirdest thing. Like, I don't know how that works.
But they worked together flawlessly on it, because it wasn't direct competition. Universal's not making a Harry Potter movie. But they worked hand in hand with the original people from the Harry Potter movies, who in turn were very, very closely linked with JK. So it all goes back to her influence. And I think that really, really showed. And I think Eric, you agree with me, because it was evidenced in everything we saw. Everything.
So, did you at all? I mean, of course, you said you didn't go into any of the shops. Was everything pretty much done whenever you were there?
That's something we can't comment on.
Oh, wow.
I'll comment on it. I don't care.
Okay.
It was already on the Ellen
Way
show.
to break embargo, Jeff.
It was. I think America. It was already on the show. It doesn't matter.
No, but they've repeated constantly, don't write about it because it's still under construction. We wouldn't want you reporting on something that changes. It's
not finished,
because the park's not open.
Okay.
That's all I was gonna say, is that it wasn't finished. Okay. It wasn't finished. They had large construction and work crews painting, meticulous detail. I think they'd be okay with me saying that they are painting the fine lines. I mean, it's that much detail is all I'm saying is, they wanted to make it perfect, and I think they're going to be. So,
I mean, that's common sense. So you shouldn't control that, because obviously if it's not open yet, then it's not finished yet. So,
yeah.
So.
But, Eric and I can talk about the food at, the three broomsticks. It was incredible. And and Eric, I know we're not allowed to talk about the inside of Three Broomsticks, and that wasn't on the Ellen show, so we probably shouldn't talk about that. But we can talk about the food.
Yep.
Do you want to start, Eric? Because it was incredible.
Butterbeer is a win. Butterbeer is absolutely, positively a win. I was worried. I was concerned. Not only do they have butterbeer, they have a frozen version of butterbeer. First of all, butterbeer is chilled. It's kept just above 32 degrees. Everywhere you go in the park, there's going to be a separate trolley that's in the middle of the park, in the middle of Hogsmeade, and then you're going to be able to get butterbeer in the Three Broomsticks and in the Hogshead, which is attached to the Three Broomsticks. Butterbeer was absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
it was my favorite.
Now,
it really was.
Now,
more than pumpkin juice?
Oh yeah, the pumpkin juice was good, but the butterbeer was so tasty.
Now, I asked you about this the other day, Eric. I was because of course I read your report, but I had asked you, was that the same butterbeer that they had kind of served us at Alcatraz? Because with Alcatraz, it was actually alcoholic, and it was, I think butterscotch schnapps or something like that.
They're none of the. It's totally different. In fact, it's not even like nobody associated with the park would even want you to think that it's anything like that, and it's not, because that was, I mean, a fan conference rendition, whereas the butterbeer used in the park is all Universal, is their head chef, their creative group working, and you know, they came up with variations upon variations that were tried and tested by J.K. Rowling herself.
Yes,
and she approved the final formula. And so no, actually, in fact, I was shocked at how not like that butterbeer that we had at Alcatraz was. The butterbeer version at Alcatraz is a fan-made concoction. It's great. Honestly, I have the recipe for it in my fridge right now. I mean, I could go and make myself some of that butterbeer.
What?
But this, I do. It's easy. It's butterscotch schnapps and spice rum.
The fan one.
Yeah. But the Universal butterbeer is only going to be available in the park, and it's the ingredients. You know, I don't know how they did it, but honestly, the butterbeer, like, it's lighter at the bottom than it is at the top. I don't know how they did it. It's like an ale. It drops to your stomach. I don't know how they did it.
The cream on top. Oh my God, that was the best part.
Well, you guys, we saw this kind of butterbeerish drink in Half-Blood Prince. It kind of had that orange brownish tint to it with the thick cream at the top. Was that more or less like the kind that you guys had tasted?
Doesn't even compare.
Doesn't even,
totally different.
Nothing at all. Oh wow.
Different. And in such a good way. Like, I was shocked. I was like, I don't know how they could possibly do a decent butterbeer that isn't, you know, the alcoholic version of butterbeer. Honestly, it's amazing. And you gotta think, like, unlike England, okay, which is like a temperate zone, you got Orlando, Florida, which is 80s and 90s, humid, horrible hot weather all summer long. How are they going to possibly come up with drinks that are going to hydrate people? And the chilled butterbeer and the pumpkin juice, honestly, I don't have a preference between butterbeer and pumpkin juice. I thought pumpkin juice was just that amazing. I was equally thrown away by, or thrown.
You were thrown away.
by the pumpkin juice.
Yeah, I liked it, but I have to be honest and say that I liked the butterbeer better.
Cool.
Eric, we are forgetting to mention, however, the frozen butterbeer. That was incredible, and I can't wait. It was quite a mild day for us when we were there, but I can't wait until it's 80 or 90 degrees and you get a frozen butterbeer in you.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be so good.
Is that
What?
Oh, I was going to say, is that like the whatchamacallit, the like the frozen lemonade and stuff like that, or?
Well, imagine the only way I can compare it is when you think of a frozen drink like that, you have to think of a Slurpee or
like an
something
icy,
like that, an icy, yeah.
There you go.
But it's like 20 million times better than that.
Yeah.
Even the texture of it doesn't. You know, with a Slurpee, you can kind of slurp out all of the flavor, and you're left with this dull ice.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen with that. I don't know how they did it. Yeah,
I don't either. And that's another thing. I think I said it in my report about the food, is that, you know, it's really a testament to how strong a drink you make when you can actually take that drink that they've concocted, so they have their official butterbeer recipe that's going to be used in butterbeer, and actually turn that into a frozen drink. Because the frozen butterbeer tastes, it's like the enhanced taste icy version of the butterbeer. They're totally the same drink. You can tell how they got one from the other. And it's just such a strong recipe, such a strong, awesome butterbeer that you're going to like it any way you get it, whether it's frozen or just chilled.
And the last word I have to say about the butterbeer, because there's so much more food that we tasted, is that every time you take a sip of the butterbeer, you, without question, have a little cream milk mustache, and it's the coolest thing because it tastes so good. I don't know how they did it, but it's not just like this foamy cream. It's foamy, but it's very flavorful.
It's like lines of the books are coming to you as you're drinking. You imagine the trio and the three broomsticks under the invisibility cloak.
Right?
Yeah, it's astounding.
What about the food? You guys mentioned the food. What kind of goodies do they have planned for us?
Should I just run down some of the food that they had, because it's I got to bring up the list because there was so much. But
okay.
The food, yeah, okay.
Well, before you do that, real quick, sorry to cut you off there. Jeremy's joining us now. What's going on, Jeremy?
Hey guys.
Okay, Greyson. Greyson's back too. Yay! All right. So anyway, yeah, the food. You do have a list, correct?
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys aren't hungry, because this list will make you very hungry. Eric, you feel free to jump in at any time, but the Great Feast is what we were served right as we sat down. In the Three Broomsticks.
And more. I mean, we did get fish and chips. I don't think that'll be part of the Great Feast.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. But the Great Feast, to start with, it's a gigantic bowl of garden salad with the vinaigrette dressing. And, that was pretty standard. Okay, it was good.
Oh, the dressing was good, though.
Yeah, the salad wasn't it wasn't garbage. It was a good salad, but nothing to write home about, basically. But it was a very good salad.
I'm going to write home about the salad. I'm going to owl home about the salad. I'm going to gallery, and I'm going to owl home about the salad.
From the Hogsmeade post office, which is real, but we can get into that later. The full meal, it's a platter for groups of 4 or more, because there's 4 of everything. Of smoked chicken.
Half chickens.
I'm sorry, you're right. Well, yeah.
I guess it's chicken. Yeah.
Char-grilled ribs, roasted corn on the cob, and the most amazing roasted potatoes with this like veggie melody mixed in. Tell me what you thought of that, Eric, because it was so good.
The Great Feast?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get to try the corn. I'm shocked. They say they got a in the park they're going to have a special corn roaster. Like, it's a separate piece of machinery that they got that'll cook the corn while it's in the husk, for maximum freshness.
Like roasted corn.
I had ribs, we had the ribs, which just fell right off the bone, and the chicken was absolutely amazing. I mean, you're thinking about it because you're going to be in the park, surrounded by all these Harry Potter things. You bite into this huge wing of chicken, and I think there's going to be even a barbecue turkey leg. So just there's nothing. There's going to be nothing like it. And the Great Feast in particular, is just this great assortment of pretty much everything. I mean, you sit at a table in the Three Broomsticks, I imagine, and eat the Great Feast, and you have your choice between potatoes and corn on the cob and just all these great things with this healthy British recipe food. It's not going to compare to anything.
No. And that's part of what I heard them talking about. Joe was insistent upon this good, real food. None of this, what do they call it? Elephant ears and fried corn dogs and, the generic, fair food that you would have.
The stuff that only makes you feel worse after you've been on a few roller coasters.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about your British grandmother's home recipe cure for all ailments. I mean, did you get to try the shepherd's pie, Jeff?
I had a bite of it. You have to, Eric knows, but you guys have to realize they kept bringing out dish after dish. They didn't really warn us. In fact, they may have, but I didn't hear it. But they showed us all the food, and then they were like, "Okay, you're going to try some." They didn't tell us we were going to try all of it. So they brought out the Great Feast, and it was this huge platter, and so we all started eating. And then the whole waitstaff comes out with a whole nother platter full of everything else, which is, it says that we sampled. Did you try the fish and chips, Eric?
I did. In fact, the guy kept giving me more fish. I said, he said, "How's the fish?" And I said, "It's so awesome." And he's like, "Here, have some more." I guess he couldn't get rid of it. And so I actually had more fish and chips than anything else that day. It was awesome.
It was good, yeah.
It was absolutely awesome. And it was just like the fish and chips I had tried my first time in Stratford-upon-Avon, which is the birthplace of Shakespeare. I had fish and chips there. And honestly, it was even better in Florida. I mean, where can you say you're going to get better fish and chips in Florida than you do in England? It just it doesn't happen.
Well, it may just now with this.
June 18th.
Yeah. The shepherd's pie you asked about, I had a bite of that at the last minute, and it was delicious. It's in this little imagine like a what do you call them?
Like foil.
Those bake your own dinner kind of goulash kind of thing. I can't think of it. Pot pies. That's what they're called in the U.S. We call them pot pies. Yeah. Well, it's in that kind of tin foil dish, and it comes out, but you just dip right into it, and I don't even know what's in it, but it's meaty and vegetable-y, and it's just really
British.
Good. Yeah, British. The Cornish pasties, I don't even remember. Did you try those, Eric?
I had them. They're kind of like I had them, but they're kind of just something good. They're like a potato, like a pasty.
Like a pasty. Wow.
Like a
amazing.
Pasty. They're pasty-ish.
Yeah, you'll have to look those up.
That meal comes with leek soup. Potato and leek soup. I think with Cornish pasties with potato and leek soup. Was that the same dish? I
don't even remember. Was there soup? I didn't have any.
We didn't get soup, but I think the Cornish pasties, when served, will be with the soup.
Okay.
And that was sort of another one of those inspired dishes where they basically, asked Jake, "Hey, rolling," and it's kind of like scouting around for filming locations. They basically searched all these other recipes in the rural areas of the countryside in Britain and came up with these several dishes that is going to be, quintessential Harry's, British heritage world and food that you might find at Hogwarts.
Yeah. Or at for Privet Drive, for that matter.
Not to mention you get to wash it down with some pretty awesome butterbeer or pumpkin juice.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Now, no, go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, basically all that's left now is the desserts, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. I don't know if we even tried them all, but I'll just go through the highlights if that's okay. The strawberry and peanut butter ice cream. Wasn't that good?
It wasn't just good. It was. I'm going to break out the 4-syllable word here. Phenomenal.
Yeah. It's again, with the frozen butterbeer, if you just imagine something very cold and very satisfying in a hot weather environment, that's going to be it. And the opposite of that, I guess, would be the cauldron cakes, because they've got this like liquid,
melting chocolate,
molten chocolate, in the middle, and it has didn't it have a little chocolate ring or what do you call it? The handle. It had a chocolate handle.
The handle of the cauldron. Yeah, I honestly I only was able to have the strawberry peanut butter ice cream. I blinked and all the dessert was gone. Yeah.
You were too busy eating fish and chips.
The guy kept giving me more fish. Okay, I couldn't help it.
Well, they did have, I'll just run through them out as well, because I tried a bite of each, but I honestly don't remember. All I remember is that they looked really good. I'm sure they tasted really good, or else I would probably have a memory of it being bad, which I don't. Chocolate trifle, deep dish apple pie, that was good. I had a bite of that. Treacle fudge, I do remember that. That was really good. It kind of had this melt in your mouth butter quality to it, but it wasn't. It actually tasted buttery to me, but it literally melted in your mouth, and it was so good. Pumpkin tart. I don't think I had that. Did you, Eric?
I thought that was the mini pumpkin pie that they had. Like it was the small mini, and that was really good. Like I really like pumpkins. I don't know.
I just drooled all over myself. Sorry. I opened my mouth.
I just got to ask. why go there and do anything else but eat?
That's the thing. Like, if you live nearby, like I can imagine getting like a season pass and just showing up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, honestly, just driving into the park, parking, obviously I don't know what the parking situation is like, but I really think that that's going to be the place to eat. If you're anywhere near Orlando, to eat there. I'm not exaggerating, okay? Because the Harry Potter park, they pulled out all the stops. I mean, they've got 90% of the merchandise in the park is completely unique. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Noble Collection, WB Shop, nowhere. You're not going to find it anywhere else. The food is so good. It's like as good or better than anything else in the park, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
Well, where do you want to go?
I don't know if you were there when Melissa Anelli from the Leaky Cauldron was there, and she said she could see herself, and I could too, just going in there, like you said, Eric, and just sitting up at the bar or getting a table and just eat and drink. I mean, you're inside, you're away from the hot sun. That was the only question I had, was how are they going to get people to leave?
It's a fair question.
20-minute waits and
I can't imagine, Jeff. I mean, going back for a second to Hogwarts Castle, to the Forbidden Journey ride, they say it, and you've mentioned an hour-long immersive experience. Okay, but you and I both, realistically, we walked through that line, and if that line in the castle were to be full, were to be coming out of the castle, how long do you think that queue would be?
Oh gosh. Well, we don't know how long or how quickly they're going to funnel people through, but yeah, that was the only tricky thing about the Hogwarts, the Forbidden Journey, is there are so many different queuing areas. It's kind of like, once you're in the line, you're kind of committed because you don't want to leave it, obviously.
Just grab some food to go, and
that's the thing. Just grab some butterbeer.
Yeah,
totally. It's going to be, but yeah, getting people out of that park is going to be probably their strongest obstacle.
I think that's a good thing.
I can, it's good, but I can just imagine like a few people like passed out on the cobblestones out front.
Guys, pitching a tent.
Guys, we've talked about everything in this park. The only thing I want to touch on next is the rides. Now, we spoke a little bit about the Forbidden Journey ride and the queue and things like that, but they also have the Flight of the Hippogriff and apparently another ride there, which is just totally leaving my mind right now.
Dragon Challenge.
There we go, Dragon Challenge. Yeah. I wanted to go ahead and touch on those for just a moment here. After you've filled up on food and gone through the shops, you're obviously going to want to ride some rides and see some of the attractions there. What are you allowed to tell us that you guys saw as far as the rides go, as far as going into those actual attractions?
Jeff, do you want to handle this?
Well, we actually didn't get a chance to ride anything but the initial part of the Forbidden Journey. Yeah, basically.
It felt like a ride. I mean, technically we rode it. I mean,
yeah. Well, the only thing we didn't ride was the big thing that they're going to be revealing, I would assume, anytime now within the next couple months. Well, it has to be within the next month, I would think. Is the details about the ride itself, the Forbidden Journey ride. I won't go into the rumors about what it is. You can find all that on the internet, but it's suffice to say it's this magical bench that you get on, and it winds you through this entire immersive journey through
Harry's World.
Memorable scenes of Harry's World. Yeah, so blah blah blah. But the other rides, or the other attractions. The one that I'm most curious to see how it's going to work is Ollivander's Wand Shop, to be honest. I mean, there are the two roller coasters, but honestly, those are just rebranded, currently existing roller coasters, which sounds kind of lame, but I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun with, the whole Harry Potter branding and everything. But the Dragon Challenge is an old roller coaster. They're just rebranding. And what was the other one? The more
Flight of
kids
the
one.
Hippogriff.
The Hippogriff. Yeah.
It's very interesting because Dragon Challenge is open at the moment. It's not. It's still open in the Universal Islands of Adventure Park as the Dueling Dragons, I believe. And
that ride was awesome. I've actually been on that.
Here's what I can tell you too, because I was there. Oh, Terrance, you mentioned the Lost Continent, and that's actually still there. Because I walked through there. Oh, wow. So I don't know if they tore down half of it or whatever to build the Wizarding World, but Lost Continent is still there because you're walking through and you see the trident and the big hand and stuff. I have pictures, which I have yet to post. Anyway, I rode the Dueling Dragons the next day when we went back after our tour of the castle, and it's really cool. And actually, I'll tell you this: if you could there are two dragons. Obviously, one of them is labeled fire, the other one is ice. And honestly, they have it so they haven't shut down the ride yet, but the queue currently weaves pretty much in and out of where the Wizarding World is going to be. So they have tents up, so you can't really see anything.
That's what all those people were doing there. That they had to clear out of the way and make sure they couldn't see the park.
You have great view of the castle. I have to show you my pictures from the queue of the Dueling Dragons because obviously they haven't shut it down yet, but I imagine they're going to be shutting it down soon. Anyway, the cool thing is when you go up the first hill in Dueling Dragons, you're going to see there's a great overshot of the park. You can see the park from above. And honestly, I didn't have my camera ready. I was on the wrong train to do it, but there are great overhead shots to be had if you're at that park and you ride the ride and you look over to the Wizarding World. It's going to be amazing.
No,
so I guess just placement, it's going to look great.
I presume they discourage or disallow cameras on the ride itself.
I didn't get stopped. I took the wrong train. I wish I had taken the other train because I would have gotten some great photos. But regardless, it's going to be a great view. Like I was amazed. Like I was riding the ride. It wasn't even a Harry Potter themed ride, and I rode it, and it takes you up pretty much directly over Hogsmeade, up that first hill, and it's going to be great.
People going up that.
How much of a extreme ride is it? Because I was curious. I didn't get to ride it. I know the Hippogriff one is aimed at the younger crowd, so it's a bit smoother. What was the Dueling Dragons one like?
It was smoother than I thought it would be. It's a suspension roller coaster, so it's pretty smooth. Even around the turns, it's smooth. Like I don't know if you got a chance to ride the Hulk. The Hulk to me was horrible, made me really sick. It was just bumpy, and even though it's a suspension roller coaster, it's just I felt thrown. I felt like I was manhandled by the Hulk. Dueling Dragons, honestly, Dueling Dragons was pleasant and it was fun. And
is it like? Does it put you upside down and spin around, or what?
Yeah, upside down, twisty turny, but not unpleasantly.
Smooth.
Like I'm finding lately that I have not been able to ride roller coasters as well as I used to. But this one was fine. This one was fun and enjoyable, and yeah.
What's that, Sonny? What did you say?
Back in the old days, I could ride the coaster all day long.
Well, it's no Rip Ride Rocket. I mean, you're not going to lose an iPhone down or anything.
Hey now. Hey, I don't know if anyone else knows this, but that's a sore point with me because I actually did lose my iPhone on the Rip Ride Rocket ride.
They had to take security down. What you found it? It was beyond a fence, down near some power lines.
Our tour guide. Yeah.
Is it still usable? Or?
No, my God, no.
Were you able to get a new one though?
Not yet. It was completely destroyed. I was able to salvage the SIM card, I think, and that was about it.
Oh,
but
man.
They, bless their hearts, they shut down. I swear, Eric, it was for like 2 or 3 hours, wasn't it?
2 hours. You didn't ask them to do that either.
No.
Like they just insisted. They didn't want anybody else's phone falling or anything. We were VIP. We received the VIP tour of Universal the day we were meant to go into the Wizarding World Park, and we went through these rides through the back doors. This VIP coordinator lady led us through the whole thing. And when Jeff approached her, and he was very hesitant, he was very polite. He says, "I believe that I've misplaced my iPhone," or something along those lines.
I went up to her and I said, "I lost my iPhone on the ride."
Oh, okay. All right. Well. Anyway, she basically, the rest of us moved on, and she took Jeff to, I guess, the back area and explained to what security, and you guys went looking for it in the bushes underneath the ride.
Yeah.
Why? And obviously the ride was shut down. People were glaring at us when we were getting on the ride because we were getting on sooner than they were, and then they shut down the ride to help Jeff find his phone. And honestly,
so if you were there,
that's the only way to do it.
if you were there that day, and you don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Now you know who did it.
Wednesday, March 25th, I think. So
now you know who ruined your whole vacation.
Wow.
That said, a reminder to donate to HPA&A.
Right.
Hogwarts Radio.
Oh gosh, but no, that bless their hearts. That was really nice. I think her name was Jeanette, right? Eric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, such a nice woman. And honestly, I mean, when they brought you your phone in the bag, because of course you found it on the macadam, and it was behind a fence, and they didn't have a key, and security didn't have a key, and they needed to call. I don't know.
It was called Tech Services. They called.
To get the key to the fence. Basically, it was torture because Jeff at that point had rejoined the group, and he said, I found my phone, but I can't get to it. It's just beyond my reach. And it was upside down, so they couldn't tell if it was still working.
Yeah, and it still rang and everything. But in any case, they picked it up, they scooped it up, and she brought it to me with her head held low. But I got the pieces back. So
honestly, if you ever want to see what the inside of an iPhone looks like, Jeff, you should post pictures because I thought it was awesome. There are more parts. I mean, I felt bad for you, of course, but I thought it was awesome. Yeah. Secretly, I thought
it was awesome.
Looked really cool from the inside. I'm just saying, but that really did suck. But the support we received from them, and I could tell that they were treating you, as best they could. I mean, that was
the thing that the thing that struck me about it was that Jeanette said Harry Potter carries a lot of weight right now, and if you think about it, they even outside of Universal, everything in Florida has stopped and let Harry Potter just happen. Nobody is doing anything this year because Universal is releasing the Harry Potter attraction.
Whoa.
And it speaks, well, I mean, everyone got out of the way. Disney, Busch Gardens, all those, they're not doing anything because Harry Potter is it.
Well, I mean, they realized probably nobody could compete with Harry Potter at the,
exactly.
right now.
But that's amazing. That's a great quote, Jeff, too, to wield as you just did.
That was what she said. All she did, I was with her. She called into security. She said, one of my guests lost their phone, and then there was silence, and then she said, well, it's one of my Harry Potter people, and that's when the ride got shut down. So they're serious about it. I mean, I can't tell you how been treated.
It reminds me of that quote.
They're very serious.
It reminds me of that quote from Chamber of Secrets where Riddle goes, let's see the power of Salazar Slytherin match Harry Potter, something like that. Let's see the power of Disney match Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds like a great experience. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I mean,
it is.
From everything you guys were just telling us, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be if you can go. It's a once in a lifetime event. It sounds like, but it's always going to be there is the thing. And I mean, not
once in a lifetime.
Yeah. Well,
you just contradicted yourself there, Terrance.
Okay. Well, I know I do a good job of that. But
once in a lifetime, but it'll be there forever.
But can you imagine going? Can you guys imagine going this summer and saying, calling each other up and say, "Hey, where are you guys at?" "Oh, I'm at Hogwarts." I'm like, I can't imagine.
I can just picture it. We should all do that. We should just call each other from in front of the castle. "Where are you on Hogwarts?" "No way." "Yeah, out of the greenhouse." "Where are you?" "No way."
But yeah,
I feel like I need a little disclaimer here because I've espoused so positively about this park, and it's true Universal has treated us very well and flown us down there to preview it, and we're some of the first fans to see it. But if there was any problem with it that I could see, I would have brought it up. But all I can see is careful attention to detail and just this dedication to it. So I hope that the biggest concern I have is not right now, but 5-10 years down the road, if it's still there, which I hope it will be, is it going to be the same experience as it is on June 18th when it opens?
I'm sure it will. I mean, think about the experience you have whenever you go to Disney. I don't know how many of you guys have been to Disney, but whenever I go, whenever I step through those gates and look at that castle, it's magic all over again. Each time I get those butterflies in my stomach and it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm actually here. So multiply that by Harry Potter times 6.0 times.
It's its own math unit.
Yeah, times 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd, and then there you go. I mean, there's not going to be any words to describe it. It's too amazing. Amazing. So, I don't know about you guys, but I think I need another break. We should play another rock song. This one is an up and coming artist. An up and coming artist. Name of Expelliarmus, I think it is. So we're gonna let you guys listen to it. We got some fun segments planned coming up. I know this is a bit of a longer show than what we're used to, but hey, we're like the Hogwarts Express, charging forward with momentum and steam and stuff.
Maybe we should rename the show
Hogwarts Radio Express. I don't know. Why not? It sounds like a coffee.
Stupid.
Sounds like the shortened version, to be honest.
Right?
Yeah, it does.
Anyway, got some fun segments coming up, so stay tuned. We're not going anywhere just for right now, so we'll see you in just a bit.
Though, Dan Radcliffe will always have a job if he ever wants to just work in the
Are
park.
you ready for a brand new artist? Let's give it up for Expelliarmus!
Harry Potter, Dumbledore, Ronald Weasley, very poor. Malfoy, Dresden, Pimpin, now Slytherin, Hogwarts House, Basilisk in the chamber, moaning Myrtle, what a hater. Hagrid's class, what a pain. Divination, she's insane. Common room, portrait, hole, privet drive, the below, box and pub, shrieking shack, gotcha tolo, sorting hat, leaky cauldron, green lights ball, Quidditch pitch, house of gone, Malfoy Manor, graveyard scene, in the cave, ministry, Hogwarts Castle, level 1, Blackwood now, and we're done. Harry Potter, you will lose everything.
Not tonight, Riddle. It's not gonna happen. Expelliarmus!
Wanton brooms, got that snitch, crammed and boiled, just too thick. Dueling class, Mr. Snape, Second Citra, oh too late. Mad-Eye Moody, watch him drink. Crucio, ooh that fiend. Muggle studies, she got A. Voldemort's huge-ass snake. Neville Kane saved the day. Slice his head nice and straight. Gryffindor, Sortle's there. Harry's got jet black hair. Last part now about us, cause we yell, Expelliarmus!
I don't know oops, I played it again. How did you guys like that? Was that pretty interesting? Was that pretty fun?
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
That was again the new and upcoming artist Expelliarmus. So
Terrance Pinkston.
Yes, that was my my Better Wizard Rock single debut.
Your first one's pretty good, but that sounded like your computer voices that you do
Your
all the time.
voice modulator.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like the better voice modulator. That sounds good.
The Q33
Voice modulator.
How does it go? The Marvin Martian. The Q36 explosive space modulator.
Terrance, I never knew you were like the man of voices. He does this Kermit the Frog voice and.
Yes. Moving on to our next segment here, we got riddles for the HP Know-It-All, and this segment we debuted during the Helping Haiti Heal event, and it got really good reception from the chat there. It was awesome for audience participation. So we thought we would give you guys another another taste of it here and see how everybody likes it. Because, like I said, it did get pretty good reception the first time. So, I'm gonna say a riddle, and you guys guess who it is. Okay.
Do we get to buzz in? Do we have to buzz in, or are you gonna call on us?
No. No. It's more like the first one that does it. First one that gets it gets it. So.
All right. Which one? Yeah.
So the first.
What do we win?
The first one, you win. You win a shot at the next question. Do
we get a hosted podcast?
You can have one of the dark mark tattoos because I've got like 1 billion of them.
Oh, sweet! From Whimsic Alley?
No, from Alivon sent them to me for the helping Haiti heal thing, and they sent way more than I thought.
Awesome. So the first riddle is as follows: I'm neither friend nor foe. Don't mistake me for a doe. I don't sweat the small things like tea leaves and lovers' dreams. Look not to fortune's patterns. Man's fate aligns with Saturn. Who am I?
Ooh.
Ferenzi?
Centaur.
Ferenzi? I thought it was just Ferenz. Yeah, Jeremy, you got it. It was Ferenz.
Oh,
Ferenz.
Ferenz.
Yeah. I haven't read that book in like.
Way to go, Jeremy!
Years.
You just won all the dark mark tattoos that you can possibly cover yourself with.
That was sent to you. Yeah. So, next riddle is: I came to Hogwarts and graduated 1988. I came back at the time of Harry's almost yet terrible fate. I came in first in a family of 9. I handle money, but it's definitely not mine. I've got a
Bill Weasley.
All right, let me finish the quote first.
Whoa, just tripped over himself trying to get that out.
Yes, it is Bill Weasley, and if you guys will allow me to finish before you
let me finish.
Finish.
Bill Weasley.
You should have just muted our stream until you were done. Then
no, that's okay.
You don't want people calling it out. The HP know-it-all would should be able to stop you in your tracks.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait,
anyway.
Can I interject here real quick? Did anyone see the Ellen show from Orlando when she did the Harry Potter questions?
I didn't.
No.
Oh, okay.
Was it pathetic?
All I was going to say is it really disappointed me because I really like her, and she did not know how to pronounce Gryffindor, of all things.
How did she pronounce
That's
it?
a cardinal sin.
I know. Anyway.
No
sorry,
butterbeer for Ellen.
No.
Boycott that show.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, you guys.
Way to go, Jeff.
Next quote.
Yeah.
I've been a spy. I've trailed the chosen one. After his guard left, I was put on his trail by the batty one. Yet what's the use, since neither of us could protect him? Neither of us can do magic, and I can't even talk. Who is it?
Fig?
Mr. Tufty. Mr. Tufty.
Who's Mr. Tufty?
Yeah, what?
What? Neither of us can do magic. It's, who else is not who's not Mrs. Fig? I was going to say Mendungus, but he can do magic, can he? Because
Yeah.
Mr. Laffy Taffy.
No, Jeremy got it. It was Mrs. Fig.
Oh.
Yes.
But who's the old batty one?
Batty is Bathilda Bagshot. You know,
Oh.
Rita Skeeter's,
Zelda, yeah, Miss Zelda Baxter.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
old bat.
So, all right, I got one more here, and this one's pretty easy. I should think. Okay, here it is. I don't believe in wands or in the Quidditch World Cup, and this is the last time I'll say this. Shut that ruddy bud up.
Say it again. Say it again.
just the accent part.
Just the last part. Do it again.
Shut that ruddy bud up.
I don't understand. I don't know who it could be. Do it again.
Okay. I don't believe in wands or in the Quidditch World Cup, and this is the last time I'll say this. Shut that ruddy bud up.
That's awesome. Did you write these yourself?
Vernon.
No, actually, I'll explain where I got them in just a moment. But what's the answer to the question?
So the answer like 5,000 times.
I didn't hear it.
Greyson really wants some dark marks, okay?
I really do want some dark marks.
Greyson, who is it?
It's Uncle Vernon, dude.
Okay. Yeah, that's how we play riddles for the HP Know-It-All. And you, yeah,
I'm sorry, we need that in the form of a question. What is, or who is?
Who is Uncle Vernon?
I actually got
full name, please.
Full name. Yeah.
Terrance, I don't want to do this,
Okay.
I'm still reeling from the fact that you did that Wizard Rock song that I thought was a joke, and like it wasn't really you, and then I figured out it was you. My mind is boggled from that, so I'm impressed.
Was that you?
Yes, that
was him.
It was.
No, that was actually you with your voice modulator.
It was actually him. I thought it wasn't, but it was.
Oh my god!
I was making jokes.
Yes, that was my Wizard Rock single.
Wait a
now I really need to listen to this. I'll listen to the whole podcast and hear it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how we play riddles for the HP Know-It-All, and this segment was actually taken out of the HPANA forums under the Gamekeeper topic, and this is actually it was a closed topic, but yet it was pretty popular. And some of these can get pretty intense. I was looking through them the other day, trying to find good ones for the show, and I was stumped by a lot of them. There's quite a few of them that I couldn't get.
Yeah, the Gamekeeper forum, if I may add a little anecdote here. When we first created it, it was such a strong desire or demand for it that I had to put it in its own forum, and people were getting so many points. Like, we have the point system where you can get custom titles on HPANA.
It was an horror.
Yeah, well, no, I literally had to make a decision to say, okay, you're going to get any points for posting in this forum because people could get it so quickly by playing these games.
Right.
Oh, wow.
The next segment that we have, a fun little segment, also taken from the HPANA Gamekeeper forums, is called the Wrong Answer Game. Okay, in this short, fun segment, a question is going to be thrown out to each of you guys. Okay, the object of the game is to answer the question wrong and explain your answer. For example, a question would be, who calls Ron Wan? And an answer could be Minerva McGonagall. She's taught so many Weasleys, she's had to resort to nicknames to tell them apart. Okay, so you guys get the general idea. So I'll ask the questions, and the first person here, let's see, who's going to go? Jeff. Jeff's going to go first.
Oh, boy.
Jeff.
No pressure's on.
No pressure.
Right? Who was the Half-Blood Prince?
Oh, Lord. Oh, gosh. I'm going to have to say Professor Flitwick, because he's a half pint. He's a small person. So he's half sized of a prince. I don't know. Am I doing it right?
No, you're just displaying your bigotry.
Warwick Davis, great person. I've met him.
He's
I've talked to him.
So he has half the amount of blood as everyone
else. Okay, yeah. He's a smart and awesome guy, and he is a small person, and that's what they like to be called. So,
That's true.
All right, Greyson, you're up next. What is a sneakoscope?
That's like in James Bond when he accidentally goes into the girl's room, and she's like, "Oh, hello, James Bond." He's like, "Oh, hello, random lady. I love your dress," like that kind of thing. Because he's sneaky, but it's like he's like scoping her out at the same time.
Sneakoscope.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay, Jeremy, here's your question. Who is J.K. Rowling?
Oh, man.
She's a man?
she's the male half of the Rolling Stones.
I have no idea who she is.
Good answer.
You're an idiot.
That's actually a really good answer. I have no idea who she is. That's like the exact wrong answer that you'd want.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
So defend it. Jeremy, defend it.
I am a complete idiot and completely have avoided the biggest phenomenon in the last half a century.
And that is how you play the game, ladies and gentlemen.
That is it.
Exactly. Now, Eric, here's your question. Eric, how many Harry Potter books are there, and can you name all of the titles?
Wow. That sucks.
Okay. There are 50 Harry Potter books.
Wow.
And they go as follows. Harry Potter and Genesis, Harry Potter and Exodus, Harry Potter and Leviticus, Harry Potter and Numbers, Harry Potter and Deuteronomy, Harry Potter and Joshua, Harry Potter and Judges, Harry Potter and Ruth, Harry Potter and Samuel, Harry Potter and Kings.
We're going to
Harry
be here
Potter
a while, guys.
Chronicles, Harry Potter and
You're gonna start a whole new holy war here.
Harry Potter is like the Bible. I'm sorry. That's my exact wrong answer for the day.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that was an excellent wrong answer. And that's
wait. If Harry Potter is the Bible, then who's supposed to be God in this?
J.K. Rowling, duh. That was a stupid answer.
Who's Adam and Eve then?
Hermione and Ron, hello.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Professor Flitwick.
Flitwick's love interest.
The half-blood god.
Choir.
Can't believe I asked
Choir.
that. Shame myself right now.
Oh. And that's how you play the wrong answer game.
More or less.
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Our last segment for the day, as we approach episode 50, we're starting to get ideas of what we can do for that particular episode. So leading up to it, I thought what would be fun is to play a small bit of the funniest moments in Hogwarts Radio history each week. Oops, hang on. That doesn't qualify. Okay, so the first clip is from way back, bringing it back, from September 1st, 2008. This episode was full of firsts, but I want you guys to take a listen to one of the more funnier moments in Hogwarts Radio history. So here we go.
Actually, real quick here, before we start the show, before we start a discussion, I'm coming to you live from a special location this week. I'm actually pulling a Ben Shane. I am sitting in my car with the windows cracked, stealing somebody's internet.
Naked.
Yeah, half naked.
Yeah, I was told to take off. told to take off my shirt.
No shoes.
So I parked underneath a carport, and somebody just walked by. So they're probably wondering what in the heck is going on. And yes, I don't have any shoes at all. Nothing on. And I'm looking at Emma Watson pictures. I mean,
yeah. See, I'm not sure. I'm not sure even the illustrious Ben Shane when he pulled the Ben Shane. The first time, I'm proud to say that I was there to witness it, but I certainly don't think that he was half naked in his car and looking at
pictures of Emma.
Certainly not pictures that were this provocative, or I would say adolescent or mature.
Yeah, so that was one of the funnier moments in Hogwarts Radio history.
I think the funniest moment was the bird one.
Oh, the
dead bird.
Oh yeah, the one where Eric was making fun of the poor girl's dead bird.
I missed this. Wait, what? You have to play that sometime because I missed this.
Actually, we'll play that sometime. We still got a couple episodes before episode 50, but before then, we'll be doing each week we'll be doing a small segment like that. So I think that about does it. We're gonna go ahead and close up shop now. If you wanted to get a hold of anybody here at Hogwarts Radio, simply just use the contact form on our website under the contact page. There's also the Skype username Hogwarts Radio. You can fan us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for the latest updates regarding the show. Registration for our forums is now back up, so to get to them and, get to them and register. Start posting because they're dead. Vote for us on Podcast Alley, and of course, for the latest and greatest Harry Potter news, rumors, and discussion, get on over to hpana.com. That does it for this week's show. I'm Terrance Pinkston.
I'm amazed that Terrance has a rock band.
I'm Jeremy Irons.
I'm Guillaume.
I'm failing to be 4 syllables.
Eric, but your name's only 3 syllables.
What?
Never mind. That does it for episode 43. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Adios.